Hey, this is for all 5 of you waiting for a review of everything.
We know how good it is, right?
At this point, it'd be like, we skip that movie? But it's like, no, this seems like something you and I would be at.
Fuck it, we might as well.
So here we are on a Tuesday watching everything.
So how did you like it?
I don't understand these kids today and their bacteria and prison houses.
This felt like a Lifetime movie.
No, it did. Like, early on in the movie, I was thinking, like, I don't know why I'm seeing this in the theater, because as a TV movie, there's parts of this film that would be, like, serviceable, I guess, as a
The two
TV
main
movie.
leads worked really well together. Like, I thought they had really good chemistry, and I like them individually, as far as the look and the charisma. The lines they were working with were terrible.
Oh, God.
But you can't fault them for that. They're just children. They did the best that they could.
I respect them so much after this movie, because I was like, I like these actors. I don't know how much I like some of the performances here, but it's not them. It's the dialogue.
Yeah.
This movie has a dramatic read of the word ellipses.
Yeah, ellipses was the okay of this movie.
Uh-huh.
And there was a whole lot of, like, her... I wouldn't even say reacting to stuff, but just standing serenely, making blank face.
She did that
while stuff happened around her.
Well, while she has to say lines like, skin sheds every 2 weeks, so my lips won't remember the first kiss, but my mind will. Like, puke. This movie has narration to tell us about scenes that we literally just saw. Like, there's a scene towards the end between the lead actress and her mom, and literally the next scene, the narration, I don't know, in case someone stepped out to the bathroom, because maybe it was a montage scene, I can't remember, but the narration comes in and goes, so it turns out my mom was doing all of this, and I'm sitting like, I know, I literally just saw it 30 seconds ago.
I feel like what might have happened was they did that awful stilted little conversation between her and her mother, and then they played it for test audiences, and the audience was like, what the hell just happened? And so they added a voiceover to explain it.
Yeah,
because none of the dialogue in this movie expresses anything other than a vague notion of the thoughts that the character is having.
Yeah, thoughts the character is having, and also to describe scenes in the book that are not in the movie. And I'm saying that having not read the book.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, because this movie has a character in it who is the mother of Nick Robinson, I think that's his name, the lead guy in the movie, who, his mom is, like, being abused in the movie by his dad. There's this whole, like, spousal abuse thing going on, but the mom is not in the movie.
No, we see the back of her head once.
We see her, the only time we do see her face is right after that part, when we see the back of her head, and she's in the car, and they're driving off, and she has no lines, but the narration comes in to say, here's what mom is thinking. I'm like, great, now the narration is abusing her too.
There's a scene where they're talking about math, and there's subtitles on the screen to say, like, oh, this is what they're really thinking during this conversation, and
somebody just watched Annie Hall.
It's like having to watch 2 inane conversations at once.
Yeah, like, before that part in the movie, I was thinking, like, they're doing a couple of clever things here with the editing. Like, I was like, the little animation they did to talk about Skid, her disease, I was like, alright, that's fine. And then even when, like, instead of just showing them texting back and forth with each other, they have them, like
put them in the models that she's in. Because she's, like, learning how to do architecture. And so she's making these little models, and she puts, like, a little astronaut in every time. Presumably the astronaut is her. And so then whenever she's having text conversations with her doodly friend, they go down into the model, and they're talking to each other in there, and then the astronaut's in the background digging around. And I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, it was. Like, the dialogue wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting way to do that. But then when it got to that part, I'm like, okay, now you're just doing Annie Hall. Like, it's with the subtitles saying what they're thinking and everything. And for a while, I was with, like, the ways they were doing the texting and in the models and everything. But then they end up in space.
They are in space.
Never thought I'd say that about this movie. And then they're in space.
Not a very good space effect either.
No, not at all. I was like, this was way more effective when it was like that poetic scene between Superman and Lois Lane in Superman the Motion Picture.
This is like that very obviously like hanging on wires and they're both just like dangling there like, oh, I guess this relationship's not working out. And he's like, no, don't say that. She's like, goodbye. And then screech. I will say that the most annoying thing about this movie for me was the styling.
Oh.
Which is a weird thing to nitpick, but the second most annoying thing about this. The first is that girl destroyed her credit. And so I guess the moral of the story to teenagers is just go get a credit card. It's super easy. And then you can just buy anything you want with no consequences.
Serves you right.
0% interest for 12 months.
You pay full price to go see this movie, you get what you deserve.
It's a fantastic plan if you're gonna die soon, but if it turns out that you're not, then you're fucked. So she buys herself an outfit from ModCloth. It arrives with ModCloth written on the side, and she spends the rest of the movie in these horrible outfits.
Yeah, she does.
There's this awful like ruffle boob dress. This girl's like fairly stacked in the boobs department, and they're not dressing her with that in mind, and so she's ending up like. It's not doing her any favors from here to here. They're like putting her in this swimsuit that's like mashing her into quad boobs the long way. There's this outfit that she's wearing in New York where it's a micro mini skirt on the bottom and a wool jacket on the top, which is for no climate.
I did have one slight that's kind of like that. Like, not exact, even though, like, even I was noticing some of those outfits and going, like...
Her poor boobies. I felt sad that her boobies are the most sympathetic character in this movie.
Right, yeah. Like, there's a part earlier on in the movie where she's having, like, a video Skype call with other people who are sick and have the same thing that she does, only... They look sick, but she's our lead character, so she looks like a model. And granted, there is a twist in this movie. But at this point in the movie, we're all under the impression that even regardless of her being sick or not, she's been inside for 18 years. And I pretty much knew where this movie was going. Like, this movie has a twist, but I was thinking throughout this thing, like, I know what the twist is going to be, and it's going to be ridiculous, but at the same time, it's about the only logical way this movie can end.
So I didn't figure this was going to happen.
Oh, okay.
I was figuring either wheelchair suicide, or there's a movie about a race car driver, where it's Marlon Brando, I think, where it's like him and this dying woman in a hospice and they're in a relationship, but then it turns out that he dies, and so it's like, whoa! I guess I also did that in Fault in Our Stars. So I was thinking something like that, like when they went up on the cliff to jump off, I was like, oh boy, here we go. I was thinking she's gonna bounce head first.
I didn't think that, because it showed that in the trailer. Like, it showed them land. So it's like, unless the trailer was lies.
Sometimes the trailer is lies, you don't know.
I kind of figured I was like, it doesn't seem to be the kind of movie that's going to end like the wheelchair suicide. What was that? Me Before You. It didn't seem like the kind of movie that was going to end like that. And this movie is kind of shot like a Lifetime thriller. Like, this movie is kind of shot like those movies Brian and I go see, like When the Bow Breaks or Unforgettable or things like that.
Yeah.
So there are moments where it's like they're unintentionally using like thriller angles. Like when it first shows the main dude in it when he's on his skateboard, and it's this slow motion shot of him going by the window, smiling like.
You think it's gonna end up like Fear?
Yeah, exactly. He was smiling. He was smiling like Wahlberg in Fear, and so yeah, in the last 20 minutes of it, it's as close as this movie gets to being a thriller, but it's not. Okay, spoiler alert. It turns out she's not really sick, and her mom has held her in this house because her sibling and her dad died, and so she's all the mom has left. So
like, I spent most of this movie thinking this woman is a monster.
The mom?
Yeah, like, how do you get to this point raising a teenager and not understand child and young adult psychology to the extent where when your child is rebelling a little bit, you respond by taking all the control out of her life and leaving her with nothing to do but run away. And then it turns out, oh no, she's crazy.
Yeah. Only I didn't spend, even though I kind of saw that coming, the ending, but for the first 80 minutes of this movie, or 70, 80 minutes of this movie, I was like, okay, looking at it from all the information that we've been given, there were parts where I'm like, yeah, I'm siding with the mom here, like, especially when the nurse gets fired.
Oh, I wasn't siding with the mom at all.
I was.
Again, like, I understood where she was coming from, but it was super the wrong decision as a parent, I felt.
Well, where I disagreed with the mother was replacing the previous nurse with Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS. Like, I didn't agree with that, but I understand it from, like, let's say the kid really did have this disease. I get it. Like, if you have this nurse there, and that's fine. The nurse and the kid become friends and all that, but yeah, I guess when it gets to the point to where something pretty dangerous could have happened there and really could have seriously gotten her hurt, I get why, in the heat of the moment at least, the mother would have fired this person.
And see, I understand that if the kid was like 13, 100% fire that woman. This is an 18-year-old girl.
And that's a good point too. Like, I kept having to remind myself of that in this movie. Like, I did. Like, because she is being treated like she's 13. So there were times in this movie where I was kind of forgetting that, wait, she's 18 years old.
She's not grown, because she's still children. But she's grown from a legal standpoint.
Speaking of legal standpoint, would the mother get in any sort of trouble for this? Like,
I feel like it is, technically speaking, kidnapping.
Yeah.
But it's your kid, so, maybe it's would you... Okay, so if someone grew up Amish, that's not kidnapping, even though you're basically just stuck on a farm.
But are Amish people tricking their children and saying, like, oh, you don't want to venture out past the crops?
There's no such thing as laptops.
Yeah. Are they saying, like, you don't want to venture out past the village because that's when the monsters will get you? Like, the nuclear holocaust happened 200 years ago.
I feel like the children from the village should have sued the pants off of their parents. No, because, your parents told you that Santa Claus was a thing.
Yeah, but they didn't hold me prisoner by telling me that. And if I was
they tricked you into good behavior.
If I was 18 years old and they were telling me about Santa Claus, then you know what? Then I'm a fucking idiot.
See, because you didn't have to behave yourself, except you thought that Santa Claus was real, and the Krampus would come and steal you if you were naughty.
Santa Claus, I figured out pretty early on.
I don't remember the discussion. I think that maybe it just phased out.
It was something that phased out for me because it was one of those things where, as a little kid, real little, like, yeah, like, they're just treating as if that's a thing. Santa Claus exists, whatever. And then, once it gets kind of phased out, and you're like, okay, so if Santa Claus exists, why don't parents believe in him? Like, aren't they wondering where the fuck these presents come from? Which is a huge flaw I have with most Santa Claus movies. So yeah, I kind of remember that just getting phased. Hey, kitty. Sorry. You don't want to go in that theater.
I can't not point at a kitty if there's a kitty running.
One time, Brian and I saw a skunk in one of the reviews. Yeah.
Stripey kitty.
Go pet him, Brian. All right. So, yeah, did you have a lot of the issues with this movie that you had from the trailer? Which was like...
Yeah, well, the trailer made it seem like, we're done, let's go to Hawaii, it'll be fine. But this one, it was like a decision she made, like, fuck it, I'll just die, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like, with the way her life was going, it was a decision I could much more sympathize with.
I could too.
It's still, I feel like if I, like, from a disabled person's standpoint, it's probably pretty shitty. You know, to say, like, you know, a life without love isn't worth living. I don't
But
know.
in this
this movie was not realistic. I guess it's dumb to sympathize with this, but not with wheelchair suicide.
No, I think they're both different because in this it wasn't so much like she was actively trying to kill herself.
But she wrote her mom that letter that was
She did-
basically a suicide note.
It basically was, but it was sort of like in case something terrible. It was like she wanted to go out and just experience life for once. Whereas in Me Before You, it wasn't really that. This was a guy.
Plus, that was like, he was grown.
He was grown.
Like,
He was
grown
already rich.
Person brain.
Yeah.
This is like a teenager, and it wasn't a good decision, but it was a decision I could picture a teenager making. Because yeah, like we can say like, oh, she didn't know what was gonna happen. She knew exactly what was gonna happen. Like if she had been that sick,
Yeah.
she would have died in Hawaii.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can believe that like I can believe that she believes that maybe there's a chance she won't. But even if she does, okay, well, she gets a couple of good last days out of it. Whereas if this were something like Me Before You, she would have gone out and had those great couple of days and then gone back home to her prison house and just shot herself. Like, that's...
No. She would have gone back home to her prison house, gathered all her loved ones around them, and insisted they watch her shoot herself.
This movie, I think you can sympathize with people a lot more than in Me Before You.
Yeah.
Like way more so. That I don't...
There's a really cute couple in this movie, and I think that
No,
made me
yeah.
forgive a lot more than I normally would have. They're just cute little children.
I think Me Before You was a more well-made movie than this, and the acting was better.
Probably. It's very indicative of what I remember from that movie that I call it wheelchair suicide.
Yeah.
Because that is all I fucking remember about
that movie didn't...
That and Eliza.
Oh, her eyebrows?
Emilia Clarke's eyebrows.
Yeah. That movie, I think the acting was better. I think the dialogue was probably a little better in that movie.
Yeah, it would have to be.
And also, I don't remember that movie looking like a Lifetime film or like one of the shit thrillers Brian and I go see. But this movie's more harmless. Like, it's a harmless movie. Like, did I like this movie? Not really. Because honestly, the last 20 minutes of this movie are insane. Like, I did have a lot of questions here. One, like, seriously, can she get in trouble for this? And also, you know, she was considering she's making this shit up about her daughter. She was taking a gamble getting her daughter a nurse.
Yeah, well, it's like... It's Munchausen by proxy, right? Where you, like, make your kid sick in order to get attention. It was, like, sort of like that, except I guess she did sort of make her kid sick by keeping her isolated.
No,
and,
yeah.
You know, getting her an immune system set up. But the movie set it up to be like, she loved her so much that she couldn't help but keep her captive in a house.
It was odd because the movie doesn't villainize her.
Yeah, no,
like,
I think it ought to a little bit. Because I was villainizing the shit out of her.
You know what? From what I've heard about the book, I think she maybe is a little more villainized in the book. Just because I guess in the book, she's a lot more strict than in this movie. I think in the book, she, like, forbids her from having, like, any friends at all, or forbids, like, any kind of communication, I think. Like, I heard someone talking about it earlier who had read the book, and I thought I remembered them saying something like that. So maybe you know what, it's like we said, there is clearly a lot of shit that's cut out of the source material.
As you know, John, we went down to the Sunday library and retrieved the scrolls of doom.
This movie got archaeological.
Just give me like a teen romance movie where the parents are normal human beings.
Let's watch Boy in the Plastic Bubble, honestly.
Is it a good movie? I like Bubble Boy.
You know what? Oh, well, they're both very different.
No, they're the same.
Bubble Boy is like the spoof of Boy in the Plastic Bubble. I mean, at least Boy in the Plastic Bubble is honest enough to be a made-for-television film.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like a 70s made-for-TV movie, but I love Travolta movies, so the movie's fine. Like, when I got to when it was like the first half hour of this movie, in my head I was like, hey, Boy in the Plastic Bubble is better, but I was also like, is it objectively? Are they? I was like, is one really objectively better than the other?
Until to watch them side by side.
Well, once it got to the crazier parts of this movie, I was like, yes, Boy in the Plastic Bubble is a better film than this. So yeah, I guess watch that movie if you, or watch Death House, or Demon Seed, about the fucking crazy house that traps her inside of it.
I was wondering where the thread was, because they were just recommending movies for people. Like, oh yeah, and also go see I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Just
that was
random
pretty
movies.
good. The Godfather, I definitely recommend. Princess Bride.
The Brood. I don't know. The Ken Russell's The Devils. Sure.
So don't bother seeing this movie. If you're gonna see this movie, you've already got to see this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not the audience for this film, but like there are better movies that are geared. There are better YA romance movies that are geared to the exact same audience than this. I wouldn't.
Yeah, she's all that.
Exactly. Oh, if we're going back in time, then hell yeah, there are. Chill out at home and watch Some Kind of Wonderful, or The Pickup Artist.
A Knight's Tale. We just rewatched that one the other night.
Did you?
It holds up so well.
Nice.
It's got Alan Tudyk in it. It's got Paul Bettany. It's got Robert Baratheon, whose actual name I forget.
Laura.
Tiny baby Heath Ledger, and Shannon fucking Sossaman, who dropped off the face of the planet.
She was, I saw her in something, she's the lead in Sinister 2. Me and Brian were at that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't good, but it was nice to see her back in a movie again. She was great in it. Mm-hmm. Now, last weekend, Laura and I watched Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, because I texted you and went, remember the time Billy Preston was a weather vane and came to life and saved Peter Frampton from jumping off a building because he was sad his girlfriend Strawberry Fields died at the hands of Aerosmith while the Bee Gees tried stopping them?
Good times.
Oh, I love you 70s Coke Field movies. So yeah, there's another one you could watch. Anyway, as far as recommending this, I look, like, if you see it on Netflix and you think it's your bag, fine, because it's pretty much a TV movie. Just watch it on Netflix.
Looks like I wrote Glass Ass Castle.
Oh, the Glass Castle? Is that what it was called?
I guess. We can't, they're making my chicken fingers, and so we only saw, like, the ass end of that one.
Yeah.
Transformers Last Night.
The hell was that trailer in front of this?
It's like, what? They were like knights. I thought they were putting two trailers together for some reason. It's like knights, and then Wahlberg, and then knights, and then Wahlberg, and then Optimus Prime is a sword for some reason, and I stopped watching the movie like 3 movies ago. I stopped watching with like the truck nuts.
The second one.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was intrigued about the last one, but then it turned out that T gets killed like halfway through.
Oh, T.J. Miller? Yes, but what you're left with is Kelsey Grammer acting like he's in a Stone Cold Thriller, and it's amazing.
T.J. Miller acting like he's a Stone Cold Thriller. He's gonna be in the Emoji Movie, you know that?
I see.
Him and Anna Faris for some reason. Like, he was in Yogi Bear 3D. I don't know why, I'm surprised.
Irving and I got that trailer in front of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. That seemed appropriate.
I bet it's gonna be amazing. Could blow the Battleship movie out of the water.
I just love how angry that movie is making bitter movie cynics. Like, look, don't get me...
How dare you?
Like, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not defending it. The movie doesn't look that good. But oh yeah, like this is the first of its kind. Like I grew up in the decade that gave us Rubik the Amazing Cube. Like they made an animated series about the Rubik's. Like okay, like there can be a fucking emoji movie. Just don't go see it. I'm gonna have to see it.
I feel like there's a better thing that you could name a Rubik's Cube other than Rubik.
Rubik the Amazing Cube.
Robert Cube. Yeah.
I feel like
It'll come to me.
We grew up in the decade that gave us the Garbage Pail Kids movie. It's like, oh yeah, kid fad movies, totally a new thing.
Like, it's no Angry Birds. The Book of Henry. Okay, so this is the first time I've seen this preview. This
Same.
is the first time you've seen it?
Yeah.
It's like the preview starts out, it's like this really, really smart kid in public school, and teachers are all like, why aren't you in gifted class? He's like, it's not good for my psycho-emotional development. And I'm like, haven't we seen this movie? Wasn't Gifted?
Yes, I leaned over
Right?
to you. I was like, I think this movie's already out. It's playing on the next screen over.
But then it turns out it's fucking Rear Window.
Yeah.
But, like, instead of Raymond Burr murdering some faceless woman, it's a child getting molested.
Yeah, and it's
like,
Dean Norris, too.
11-year-old Henry is gonna, like, get his mom to help him stop it.
And the trailer ends with Naomi Watts with a sniper rifle. Like, this movie looks amazing. Like, this is what The Gifted should have been. Like, it's Gifted meets Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door. What? Okay, sign me up.
But like, he's got, like, these big comical goggles on. He's made, like, a Rube Goldbergian spying machine. So it's like if the first 5 minutes of Up were a horror movie.
Yeah. I can't wait for this shit, honestly. Like, because I was like you. I'm like, reverse sex Gifted now. What's happening? But then by the end of it, oh shit! Go look up this trailer.
The Book of Henry. It's called. I feel bad that we ruined it for you. We should have just been like, go watch Book of Henry. Okay, come back, and then talked about it. But hindsight's 2020. Baby Driver. Which still looks good. Okay, Ferdinand. I think you left to go to the little
I've seen
ladies'
that
room for
trailer.
one. But why? Like, why?
So they can have the tagline be, "It's unbelievable."
It's adorable.
It's a Ferdinand the Bull movie. It'll be this year's Marmaduke. Yeah, that's another trailer we got in front of Diary of a Wimpy
It's
Kid.
like, okay, well, it's like they made the How the Grinch Stole Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And they had to make up, like, 90% of it because the book's, like, this thick. Like, that times 10, because Ferdinand the Bull is just about a chill-ass bowl and people being okay with it. He's in a china shop for part of it, and there's, like, a bunny rabbit teaching him to be strong. I don't need this shit.
That's all right. That movie might as well have just reached an imaginary arm out of the screen and just texted Allison itself to say, "Are you free to see Ferdinand the Bull?"
You kids have fun with that one. I don't have to worry about that shit. Geostorm. That looks terrifying.
I can't really get excited for disaster movies that much anymore.
Why not?
Because I'm not, and it's just me, honestly. It's just personal taste. Like, if I see a disaster movie, I want to see shit getting destroyed.
It's getting destroyed.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, like, modern disaster movies where it's all
Oh, you want to see,
computer.
like, actual stuff getting destroyed.
where it's all computer effects, and this movie looks like 2001, or 2012.
Yeah.
It looks like Independence Day Resurgence from last year. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't impress me. I'm not in any kind of awe of it at all.
It filled me with a sense of dread, but that's just because, stuff. Planet. Probably actually gonna happen.
Yeah, if it happens in real life, the effects will be way better.
Yes. Before you riot saying, like, they're not gonna make satellites to control the weather, and then I guess maybe a mad scientist took control of them. Is that what
It's a Dean Devlin movie, so anything's possible.
I think maybe like the Earth decided to take matters into its own hands, like buck the shackles of mankind and just freeze, tornado, firestorm, tsunami them to death.
It all ties into the Avengers. Not Marvel's The Avengers, but Sean Connery as August de Winter Avengers. God, I hope so.
I always forget about that movie.
Not me. Hashtag not my Avengers.
Oh, you. Wonder Woman.
That was a new trailer for that, actually.
I was into it. I'm into that one, which sucks. I'll probably be able to get to go see it. Unless I can get a babysitter, since I know David goes to the...
Oh, to the comic book movies? Well, maybe it'll be a few of us for that one. Early buzz on it's actually pretty good. Which
I know. And did you see the trailer actually had like colors in it other than gray and brown and other brown?
So did the last couple of trailers. Like, they showed a lot of stuff from... where she's from. Sorry. I forget the name, but when she's on her home island.
Amazon, right? Because she's an Amazon? Amazonia?
Damn it, where's Dave? Shit. I only know the Amazon from Italian cannibal movies. I hope to God that's not where she's from. My only
She's from the land of the lost.
My only disappointment was that trailer was that it didn't have that sweet riff at the end.
The Wonder Woman theme.
Like, I was waiting so hard for that to pop up.
Joker.
I hope to God that's in the movie.
That little riff always reminds me. Have you ever played Psychonauts?
A little bit.
There's a level that's Black Velvetopia. I know the name of that world, but not where Wonder Woman's from apparently. And there's like there's a bull that runs around in circles, and there's a little like kind of a matador guitar sting, and that's what that sound reminds me of when it comes up in the Wonder Woman.
Nice.
Oh no, the bull's coming.
No, it's just Wonder Woman.
It's a metaphor for his defeat in high school.
Tomorrow is Baywatch and the re-release of Smokey and the Bandit. Yes.
Oh, you guys have fun with that?
I don't know when that's tomorrow because it's they're doing those on a Wednesday screening. I'm going to be in Chicago for a few days, so unfortunately I won't be able to see Pirates of the Caribbean 5 till I get back on Saturday.
I have heard that early buzz on that is not very good. That it is not a return to form as promised.
I'm disappointed in that. Not that I thought it looked good, but because I know it's going to be long.
I just hope, okay, I'm crossing my fingers that there's this scene where it's just Johnny Depp twanging around on a fucking palm tree for 35 goddamn minutes.
There will be. If not, it'll be in the extended cut. Man. See ya.